Is shaping up to be pretty decent, Brooks says, weather-wise. He'll tell you more about that in just a few minutes. Right now, though, if you were in a relationship, should you really have a backup plan? There is new research that shows half of all women have a guy on the back burner just in case things go wrong in their current relationship. Physician and national mindful living expert Dr. Romy Mushtaq is here to talk more about that. Dr. Romy, seriously?
Good morning, Tom. I know. And
Come on, this sounds positively guy.
Guy, doesn't it? And I have to sit here and defend all of us women, but this is the latest psychology research. I was just as shocked reading this data. More than half of women who are married and categorize themselves as happily married.
Wait a sec.
They're married.
Happily married women are doing this?
Have a backup plan. And what is a backup plan? It means you have someone on the back burner.
So a specific person they've identified.
A person that they've identified, and in most cases it was either an ex-boyfriend or an old friend who never made it to the dating category.
Get out of town.
Unfortunately, yes. And the problem is social media has just made it too easy to have such a type of behavior.
Right, so I know you're here to say, though,
yes,
watch out, because this
Absolutely.
is anything but good.
It is, I agree. You know, mindset matters in relationships, Tom, and I tour the country teaching psychologists mindful living and how to apply it to relationships. And what is your mindset telling us if you have a back burner? It's telling us we don't know how to communicate well in a relationship, or when the going gets tough, instead of maybe learning important skills from a professional on how to cope with all the ups and downs that always happen in a marriage, we're saying it's okay to run away.
Yeah, I mean, the first thing that comes to my mind is that shows just a total lack of commitment.
I agree. Well, I don't know if it's a lack of commitment, or is it that people haven't learned the appropriate coping skills. You know, it's a direct projection of how we feel about ourselves if we're not comfortable in a relationship and wanting to run away. We have to be comfortable with the relationship first with ourselves. And if there's a problem in the marriage, there's no shame in getting help from a licensed professional, Tom.
So, and that's where I was going right now. Mm-hmm. If there's somebody out there who's watching right now and says, you know what, that's me. I want to change this.
Yes.
What steps should they start taking?
Step one, delete that backup burner plan from your cell phone, Twitter account, Facebook, however you're in connection with them. You know, take the temptation out. Two, find a licensed mental health therapist who specializes in couples therapy. Mm-hmm. We discuss it at nationalmarriageseminars.com. You can find free advice there and training for professionals on how to cope with such issues.
And honestly, it may not be physical cheating.
Right.
But if this isn't psychological cheating and emotional cheating, it sure is darn close.
You know, Tom, you bring up such a great point. And what happens when we're emotionally or psychologically cheating, it's one wrong thing happens in the marriage or a hard time, and it could easily turn into a separation and a divorce.
Absolutely.
And we want to save couples and marriages, right?
And it also, if one wrong thing happens, it goes from maybe social media contact to, hey, let's meet somewhere.
You know, absolutely.
Like that.
I agree. And you know what it is? The grass is always greener on the other side. Mm-hmm. You're just seeing that person's life on Facebook. You don't know what that backup burner plan is really going. Instead, take the time to heal the relationship with yourself and heal the relationship with your spouse.
Don't look at that grass that's always greener. Cultivate the lawn you have.
Amen.
Right?
Oh, that is beautiful, Tom. I love that.
Hey, Shalom Akim, Shalom. First thing and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh. Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone that rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. News in the gospel abroad, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is a quick lesson through the Spirit. As if we didn't notice already, majority of the women are adulterous, okay, because they're given the liberty to God abroad in this society. So we know that women are often bad choice or bad decision makers when it comes to probable decision making, and oftentimes, you know, they choose the decision that's not really best for them. It's the reason why they need men to guide them, okay, and the reason why the Most High has set up an order, okay, man first, then the woman, then the child, because the decision making is spearheaded through the husband or through the man. Therefore, everything is an equal and just balance. Okay, not to say men don't make mistakes, but when you allow, just like if you have a puppy dog that you just bought and it's not trained up, or if you allow it to be out without a leash within the backyard, the dog is going to run in the middle of the street until it gets hit. And that's the case with a lot of these women here in America, because they have been given the liberty to guide abroad and to be feminist. Okay, feminism has destroyed the marriage dynamic between man and woman since the 60s, the 70s, the 50s, 60s, and 70s. The marriage dynamic has been totally a joke. Okay, because 70% of marriages end in divorce here in Babylon. And Esau knows that, and that's the reason why marriage is one of the most profitable business in the country or in the world in Western cultures. And you can look that up, because usually they don't last because you have too many aggravating mitigators, or you have too many aggravating factors that out mitigate the good as far as influences. Social media is one thing. If you're a woman and you're dealing with a man, you shouldn't have social media. I mean, that just honestly speaking, if you are a woman, you shouldn't have social media, period. Because the temptation, the adultery, and the fact that you can creep around and do things, you know, underneath your husband's nose, and he would never know about it if you don't question it. And usually if you do question it, then it becomes a big argument. But we know in this day and age, it's just like, it is what it is. I mean, certain shit you just be like, all right, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because what else can you do? You know, you get into a situation with half the women here, it's just like, all right, it's like a gamble, it's like Russian roulette. But we're not surprised half of married women in America have a side plan, man B. Yeah, because they have the option to do so. I mean, you know, this society is circumvented around women. They elevate women. Okay, the cities, metropolis, mother cities there for women. Okay, the clubs, the restaurants, social media, the TV, everything is geared towards women. So it makes sense that they're the prize on this side, which according to the Bible, they're really not the prize. But according to Esau, because he's turned everything upside down, women is the pretty much sought out the commodity, because men have lost their ways and their wits. All right. So anyway, let's get this in Isaiah 29 real quick, because Esau is going to pay for this, man, because there ain't no way in fucking hell a woman is supposed to be with one man her entire life. And we do understand there's exceptions to the rule. Like in the Bible, a lot of times if a woman gets married and her husband dies, she has the choice on to remarry, usually the brother, because he's to raise up seed into her husband, or a lot of times she would become widowed. Depending on what kind of woman she is, she, you know, stays single, and she would continue to serve the Lord. You know what I'm saying? And keep her head down. But women that were just like flat out demons, okay, just straight up demons and just rebellious, a lot of times they went off and became prostitutes or harlots because nobody wanted to deal with them. Which honestly, being a harlot in the Bible, I mean, prostitution, that's actually a legal profession. And those were basically for women that wasn't really well off, or women that nobody really cared to take in because of their reputation. So the last result was to resort to prostitution. Okay, then you always had brothels and harlot houses, or that hole over there where you always had Keisha. Keisha's always been around looking for the next big come up. So OnlyFans and all this shit, OnlyFans, these porn sites, these things have been around since the beginning of time, just in different forms, because even in ancient Egypt, the porn culture, they wrote the sexual acts on the walls. Okay, now today we got smartphones. But even the Romans and the Greeks, they recorded their sexual fantasies, put them in books. You know, they had philosophies built out of them. You know, they drew them on murals and so forth. You know, and today we got the phone, you got the internet, you got the computer. But Keisha's always been around, that hole over there. She's always been around. But this is a sick place, man. Because women, she's supposed to be pure. She's supposed to be pure to one man. You know, like you brothers out there, you may have wives, and this is not to discourage your marriages or your relationships, but honestly speaking, you know, you met a wife in Babylon, okay? And, you know, you brothers, your women got social media, then just off the fact, if she has social media, that's already a red flag. That's already the fact that's already an opening to adultery. Not saying she is doing that, but come on, man, if she has male friends on her social media, or she has males that's accessible to her, and she's a nice or attractive looking woman, you better believe somebody's sliding in DM. Somebody's entertaining her. Okay, now the question is if she's entertaining them back or not. And that varies, because her definition of entertaining other men may not be as your definition, versus her definition is, well, I just said hi, you know, I asked him about his family, you know, we just a few LOLs, and that's too fucking much. Okay, it ain't even no hi and bye. Honestly speaking, I don't want no man talking to my woman. I don't want a nigga saying hi to my woman. Okay, but we know that, you know, we're in this kingdom, things are the way it is, but still, it's just about respect and courtesy. Scriptures go into the courteous woman. Shouldn't no men be sliding your woman's DM? Okay, she may have a business or something like that, but even then, she's supposed to consult that business through you. And you're supposed to know everything or every particular transaction or every conversation she's having with the opposite sex. That way, you're able to scopeo it and say, well, look, this is not wise. I don't think you should be in this field of profession, because obviously these people aren't sincere. You know, you may be sincere in that, but at the same time, it's causing too much confusion. You got to get it up and find another way. And by that being your woman, she's supposed to do that. Now, if she doesn't do that, it's because technically you're not the most important thing on our list, on our to-do list. Her livelihoods, her kids, her family, her way of life is more important than your relationship. And you got to question on whether that's a situation that you plan on being in for the long term. So just throwing some things out there, not to go home and accuse your wives of adultery, anything like that, because this kingdom, I mean, shit, if she committed adultery, marvel not. Fuck what you surprised for. You know what I'm saying? I saw your woman at a strip club with another man. Shit, I ain't surprised. You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, this is America. That's accepted. You know, you go, oh, man, yeah, you're going to get pissed off. I mean, honestly speaking, it's just like, shit, what the hell do you expect here? What do you expect? You expect to find Sarah? You expect to find Judith? You expect to find Susanna? You know, and I'm not saying that it ain't no good women out here that won't cross those lines and thresholds, you know, but they're like a needle in a haystack. Okay, and those are the ones that you really don't hear about. You don't see them because they're in the background. But anyway, Isaiah 29:15, it says, woe unto them that seek deep to hide that counsel from the Lord, and their works are in the dark, and they say, who seeth us and who knoweth us? Okay, you're going into these global elites, these cabals, these particular dark rituals that they conjure up behind closed doors. You know, and this whole women's liberation movement was nothing more than a highly anticipated form of witchcraft that they've conjured up. Okay, I believe that was in the book of what is it called? What is it? The Manifesto? What is it? The Manifesto, Communist Manifesto, I believe. It's one of those books when they go into the New World Order about how to destroy families, mainly the black, so-called black, Hispanic, and Native American men family. The Communist Manifesto, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Then you got the learned protocols of the learned elder. You got the protocols of the learned elders of Zion. Okay, you got a book called the New World Order. When they put all these particular programs or these agendas that they plan on implementing to destroy the family dynamic, and you better believe women's liberation was one of them that they've conjured up on. They say, you know what, with this particular program or with this particular way of life, we can totally destroy the family. And we can pretty much catch people off guard and we can make them mindless zombies. And that's what women's lib did. But see, the woman, she's so simple to the point she think that her being liberated is a form of empowerment. And clearly that was to set you up for failure, because now, shit, Sigma males, alpha males, they're not dealing with women for real. You know, they're not really paying attention to women. They're doing their own thing. They're getting passports. And, you know, the ones that ain't trying to make it work with the ones they had, and they just like, fuck this shit. Like the manosphere is giving up on the women, you know, and hey, shit, some brothers done gave up on women, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I was like at that point before, like, I'm like, fuck these bitches. I'm not even dealing with them. It is what it is, you know, but, you know, different men got different spirits. But regardless, as a whole, you know, even though Jake have women or wives or wife or whatever, kids, they're fed up with this shit. You know, I know I'm fed up with it, you know, and I can't wait to the Lord to return everything back to his natural way. That way we don't have this confusion. That way you ain't got to worry about her committing adultery or what nigga is sliding her DM, acting like he want to do a business deal, but he's just trying to get her attention. And she's so numbskulls to the point she likes the attention. You know, because women, they love attention, man. They love it. No matter from who or what, they love it. And that's in their nature. This is the reason why they have to be led and controlled, and they have to be in order. Okay? But it says, surely your turning of things upside down should be esteemed as the potter's clay. It says, for shall the work say of him that made it, he made me not, or should the thing framed say of him that framed it, he have no understanding? Okay, so that's the point. This thing is totally flip-flop. And the Most High is going to revamp it, and he's going to put it back right. But for right now, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. This is what we can expect. All right, so this is another precept. This is the book of Amos 7:17. It says, therefore, thus says the Lord, thy wife should be a harlot in the city. Okay, and where are we? We're in the city. We're in the gates. It says thy wife should be a harlot in the city, and the sons and daughters shall fall by the sword, and thy land should be divided upon line, and thou shalt die in a polluted land, and Israel shall surely go into captivity forth of his land. But the point is that thy wife should be a harlot in the city. A harlot is basically a whore. And I was going to say a prostitute, but I mean, shit, these women, they're prostitutes. Okay, some of them have prices, some of them don't have a price. But at the end of the day, they all have a price, if you know what I mean. Okay, it says to be a harlot, to act as a harlot, to commit fornication, which is adultery, to commit adultery, to be a court prostitute, which is a temple harlot, to be unfaithful to the Most High, to play the harlot, to commit adultery, to force into prostitution, commit fornication, which is adultery. Okay, the scriptures say that our women are going to be whores. So this news clip, which is statistically proved, 50% of women, this doesn't surprise me. Okay, this don't surprise me. I mean, honestly speaking, coming up, I've never saw my sister behave in this manner. But, I mean, shit, my mother had friends, stuff like that. On my father's side, my grandmother's adopted daughter, I've seen her with men left and right. She fuck one dude and one nigga leave, and she dealing with another. Every week she got a new man. She was engaged to my little cousin's father, but she fucked that up because she was passed around on the block. She was being a whore. She was adopted by my grandmother, but regardless of that, she was still out there. You know what I'm saying? And this is a common thing among our women. Bitches got options, man. I don't give a fuck if you don't think so. She has an option, okay? Because remember, she was around other men before she met you, and other men were attracted to her before you met her, okay? And all those men, she didn't just say fuck them. Even if they stopped talking, they didn't depart on bad terms. So it ain't nothing for her to go to Walmart or go to one of these grocery stores or go to the gym and run into ex-fling, and they communicating X, Y, and Z. Before you know it, shit, he's on the back burner. Waiting on shit to get bad, so therefore you can slide in. Because either if you ain't her first, man, she got options. Whether they there or not, there's options, man. All right, that's just how the fucking cookie crumble. It's as sick as that is, as upsetting and angry as that thing is. It is what it is, and this is why the Most High is going to destroy the majority of our women, because they operate in this behavior. All right, matter of fact, scriptures going to she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth. 1 Timothy 5 and 6. This whole chapter is really good. All right, but this is the book of 1 Timothy 5. It says the elder women as mothers, and the younger as sisters with all purity. Now, let's look up the word purity. Look up the word pure. And it goes into hygienia, which means purity, sinlessness of life. Okay, meaning modest, sober, not having any occasion to be blamed or accused of anything. Okay, watching the company you keep, the people you deal with, the people you talk to. Okay, keeping things down to a bare minimum. Now, we understand that, you have to deal with the opposite sex in some endeavors. You may work under men, but, to keep the opportunity or keep the conversation as minimal as possible. Okay, because when you overindulge, us as men take that, and when they see an opening of men, they're going to go in because that's our nature. You know what I'm saying? And that's just how the cookie crumbled. The Most High created men and women to be attracted to one another. Okay, and how crazy this society is. She can't pair bond with you because she's been with other men. She's liable to be attracted to other men. So, I mean, it is what it is. Now, do you get mad and do you go kick her ass? I mean, fuck. Nah, I mean, it is what it is. Now, if you catch her in the act, then however you handle it, that's on you. And I'll put it to you that way. I'm not promoting violence or anything like that. But, the best thing to do is just walk away and let the Lord deal with it, because we're not in our power to execute judgment. But nonetheless, that behavior needs to be rectified sooner than later. Because a lot of men are literally sitting behind bars or they're in somebody's graveyard because they chase behind women, because the fucking woman was committing adultery. He goes stab the motherfucker up and he goes to jail. And she's out committing adultery. She's still out fucking other dudes. Was it really worth it at the end of the day? When you could just go out there and find you another woman, or you could pay for what you need to pay for and be done with it and focus on the truth. Or if you got you a decent woman that you can work with, then be with her. You know what I'm saying? Be with her. Because if she believes you're a man of the Lord and she fears the Lord, No matter what is thrown on her way, she's not going to go off and she's not going to transgress that, because ultimately she fears Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, and she fears you. Now, if she don't fear the Lord and she don't fear you, then she's an open book, man. At least have some respect. Okay. Look up what purity means. Okay. Cleanliness, virtue, freedom from adulteration or contamination. That ain't these women. Freedom from immorality, especially of a sexual nature. Okay. So that's the point. Meaning you ain't supposed to be out here dealing. Okay. You women, you're not supposed to be out here with all these other women running the streets, bars and hopscotching and shit like that, man. Being around other men, going to dress rehearsals. No. You're supposed to be at home, taking care of the house and seeing what you can do to serve your men. As boring as that may sound, the Lord delights in that, and he can have mercy on you because of it. But if you live a perverse lifestyle, the Most High will bring judgment on you in time. You know? And it says, honor widows that are widowed indeed. Okay, a widow is pretty much a husbandless woman. Husband that may have died, passed up, went to the spirit world, and she chose not to remarry. But it says, but any widow have children and nephews, let them first learn how to show piety at home and requite their parents, for that is good and acceptable before the Most High. So let's look up the word piety. I don't think I ever looked that up before. So piety. So that word is Eusebio, but let's see how they pronounce it here.
Strong's G 2151, Eusebio.
Okay.
Eusebio.
That was close. All right. It says to act piously or reverently towards the Most High, one's country, magistrates, relations, and all to whom dutiful regard or reverence is due. Now, when you go into Ephesians, the 5th chapter, when it goes down to women honoring their husbands, etc., that word honor goes into having a fear, a godly fear of your husband, because your husband is your Lord. So when she sees you, she's supposed to see the Most High, and she's supposed to fear that, because any transgression against you, she's in danger of the judgment of the Most High. So she's talking back. She's saying, well, look, I'm going to go out and hang out with my friends. Fuck what you saying. I'm going to talk to other men. I want to find out that she don't fear the Most High. And that's grounds for termination. Now, like I said, there are exceptions to the rules. We're in Babylon. We've been degraded. We've been tainted. Us men, we're just learning about our self-worth coming into this faith, because prior then we didn't have any self-worth, because we dealt with this shit, this jigaboo shit. Women speaking to you any kind of way, you accept a bitch back after she commit. Nah, man, them days are over with. And like I said, each man, their different dynamic with they Eve, that's on them, however they deal with it. But there's a limit to all things. But it says, now she that is a widow indeed and desolate, trusted in the Most High, and continued in supplications and prayers day and night. So this is what you're supposed to do if you're departed from a husband. You're not supposed to be going out there and playing this stabby role. Okay, well, I'm going to focus on my career. Yeah, focus on your job, whatever you need to do, but that shouldn't be your first choice. Your first choice is supposed to be like, fuck this place. But we know that women, they don't have faith like that, so they have to be guided. But it says here, but she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth. Okay, so it's just a matter of time, man. All this hot girl summer. Oh yeah, we getting our groove back. We're gonna do X, Y, and Z. Look, man, that sounds good, but really, you're in danger of judgment. Because check this out. This is the book of Sirach 25, and I'm gonna start at 13. It says, "Give me any plague but the plague of the heart, and any wickedness but the wickedness of a woman." All right, plague of the mind and the wickedness of a woman, because the scriptures say all wickedness is little but to wickedness of a woman. Okay, meaning that you can have two men that's literally teabagging one another, but that's light compared to the wickedness of a woman. Because remember, she was deceived first. Okay, she committed the act of transgression of adultery first, spiritual adultery, by listening to the serpent. Okay, who's to know? She could have laid down with the serpent. Who's to know? It didn't say that, but just speculating. But she still committed an act of fornication against her husband and the Most High, because basically she took heed to the serpent and learned his philosophies, which is the reason why we're in this predicament in the first place. It says, in any affliction but the affliction of them that hate me, and any revenge but the revenge of an enemy, man. Okay, you got what they call revenge cheating. You know what I'm saying? Revenge cheating. When a group of them get together, they talk about how they hate men, and then your name comes up on the table. Well, he did do X, Y, and Z. For you know it, now she's dancing with the nigga at the local pool hall. You know what I'm saying? Now he's in her bed and he's banging her out. Okay, they stopped talking because he's a piece of shit. Y'all get back together. That's in back of your mind. Who the fuck is this dude? But, you know, it causes problems when you bring that up because she ain't going to admit it. She's not going to admit it at all. She's going to play the fucking field and she's going to lie about it. But yet she's going to accuse you of doing everything. But yet she's the one that's out here being wicked. You know what I'm saying? See, these women, they got the game messed up. They think that they're over you and that they can dictate your actions. No. The Most High sets the man up over the woman. You the one that's supposed to be controlled and looked after of, man, because you're the one that have no guidance. We the ones that go to war. You ain't liable to fight war and win. Like when the purge come, when the society collapses as a whole, you think women are going to be out here on the front line, out here going and fighting in the wars? Fuck no. They're going to be hiding, looking for men to protect them and their children. So all this forward talk, all this outspoken shit, you only do that because you have the cops. You can call 911. Okay, 911 is readily accessible at your beck and call. Okay, but it's going to come a time when 911 is not available. You're going to be a target. Okay. Let me go down a little bit. Yep. Verse 19. All wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman, so let the portion of a sinner fall upon her. Okay, we know adultery is a light thing to Eve. That's easy. Shit, Eve got a fucking work husband. She has a nigga next door, nigga downstairs. She got a nigga at the store. She got a nigga that pays her bills, a nigga pay her car note, nigga get her hands and feet done. She got a Facebook nigga. Okay, she has a career nigga. And then she has your ass. You know, and that's how our women get down on this side, man. That's the curse. Okay, but we're here to tell you that that's not going to be forever so. And it says here, all wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman. Let the portion of a sinner fall upon her. All right. Going down to 23, it says a wicked woman abated the courage and make it a heavy countenance and a wounded heart. Man, how many men are locked up behind women? How many men are hurt over women? And naturally, we love our women because, hey, that's our glory. So when your glory is out of order and there's no glory, that's a reproach into you. You know, when you know you cared for you care for her, you wanted things to work out, but yet, you know, her career is more important, her friends, you know, her children, you know, everything seems to be more important than what you're talking about. Then, you know, that's a hurtful thing. That'll break you down, you know, if you allow it. But it says making a heavy countenance and a wounded heart. And it says a woman that will not comfort her husband in distress, make it weak hands and feeble knees. Okay. Then it says of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. Okay. And that's the point. Through her we all die. It says give the water no passage, neither a wicked woman liberty to guide abroad. And this is the feminism. Okay. This is the whole concept of what they're talking about in this video here. Study 50% of women have a man on the back burner. That's half the fucking women in this country, including your fucking woman. Okay, like I said, even if she don't have nobody, she have somebody. Okay, I mean, she has a phone, she has contacts, whatever. Okay, she's out in the world. You're not around her 24/7, and she's not under your dynamic 24/7. So the minute she walks outside, trust me, she's a target. And trust me, men, they come up and they talk to your woman. Okay, now how she handles it, you should know your woman well enough to know how she gonna handle this shit. And if you know her, then you know that she's gonna play into it. She's going to entertain it. Even if she don't entertain it, she's going to entertain it. And when y'all on hiatus status, you better believe she's entertaining shit. Because the scriptures say so. And you just should know who you're dealing with. You know, it says, and if she go not as thou wouldest have her, cut her off from thy flesh and give her a bill of divorce and let her go. So basically, man, she ain't doing what you wanted her to do. You say, look, I need you to get rid of the Facebook, the IG, whatever social media that's happening. And she has a hard time giving that up. You know, you ask her why, and she gives you some bullshit reason. It's time to cut the It's time to cut the fucking plug, man. You know what I'm saying? It's time to cut the plug. Hey, you need to shut the Facebook down. I don't give a damn what it's for. Shut it down now. Well, we can't be together. And if she say, well, fine, then that means Facebook was more important than you. Then that means that you need to start looking elsewhere, because technically she doesn't really honor your opinion, and she doesn't honor you at all. Okay, so keep that in mind, man. You know, me, I don't play with that Facebook shit. Social media is a big no-no. You know, now, like I said, there are exceptions to the rules, business. But even then, you know, let's say if my chick got a business account on social media, I still don't trust it. It's not solidified, because you don't know. You don't have access to it. You don't know who these people are. You know, and it's still an open token for adultery to come in. You don't want any angle of adultery to merit your situation. And she may say, well, you bugging. No, I'm not fucking bugging. I'm actually in the right mind. All right? Because this is what happens. This is why people break up. This is why people get hurt. This is why people get fucking killed. But they don't look at it that way. They look at it like you're insecure. No, you're just a whore. You're jealous. Well, that's in a man's nature. With the shoes on the other foot, you know what I'm saying? You doing what you do, then all of a sudden now she has the right to be jealous. She has the right to accuse you of shit and right to curse you out. But that ain't her job. That ain't her right. All right. Sirach 26, and I'm gonna start at verses 8. It says, a drunken woman in a ghetto abroad causes great anger, and she would not cover her own shame. Right? Most of them don't. Most of these bitches, man, you know, you catch them in an act, they try to blame other people. Well, you know, such and such did such and such. Nah, man. What about you when you're going to take fucking responsibility? And that's the problem with you men out here. You men, you don't hold these fucking women accountable. You don't hold them accountable, man. And that's the reason why they continue to run over you, because you don't hold them fucking accountable. You were the men of the Lord. You have to be accountable. Ain't no fucking excuses. Okay? Wrong is wrong. I don't give a fuck what the other motherfucker did. What you gonna do? Because see, Eve is quick to throw her, she's quick to throw her bullshit on everybody else when she's the one that's wrong. Well, but what about, now ain't no but nothing. Nigga, you know better. If your ass wasn't operating in that spirit, it wouldn't be any problems. But you accusing me, nah, man. If I accuse you, it's probably for a fucking reason. Check your character. Check your spirit. Check your attitude. Hold them accountable, man. If they don't want to be accountable, then eventually the shit just gonna go left. You know? But it says she would not cover her own shame. And this is the words of the Bible. And this is why women hate the words of the Most High, because it cuts their ass. All right? And it says the whoredom of a woman may be known, her haughty looks in her eyelids. And if thy daughter be shameless, keep her in straitly, lest she abuse herself through overmuch liberty. Feminism, they have too much liberty. Okay? When you got a group of women hanging together, and one is promiscuous and provocative, then 9 times out of 10, they all like that way. Okay, you just got certain women that choose to exploit a whoredom when it's more convenient for them. But if your woman is hanging out with a fucking whore, known whore, she need to cut the bitch off, period. You need to tell her, look, man, you need to choose better friends. Don't hang out with that chick. Don't, you know, and she gets the concept after she done some folly, okay? After she was with the bitch, they may have fell out over the same nigga they both want to fuck. You know what I'm saying? They may have got into it because the dude wanted to talk to her, not the other chick. Or she probably got a train ran on her with that trick, and before you know it, she don't hang out with her no more because she found out what you was telling her was true the whole time. But it's too late because you already did the dumb fucking act. Now all of a sudden you want to, well, I know what you're talking about. Well, you should have listened before you got yourself in that predicament. So you women are like children. You got to continue to put your hand on the fucking stove and get fucked up before you even learn. If I tell you don't put your hand on the stove because it's hot, why you gonna do it just to fuck yourself up? Now I gotta take your ass to the hospital and pay out of my fucking pocket because you didn't listen. Same thing when you tell your ass, look, man, X, Y, and Z, no, you can't do that. They go do it anyway, and before you know it, they learn a lesson that you've been trying to teach them, but they've already offended you and transgressed against you. Now it's too late. Now that shit is in the back of your mind. Now when it comes out, it's just like, all right, you stupid bitch. Why you didn't listen the first time? Now you created another fucking problem. All because you wanted to do what you wanted to do. Freedom, right? No, this is what the scripture said here, man. Watch over the impudent eye and marvel not if she trespass against thee. Meaning like, fuck it, man. You know? Scripture's telling you don't be surprised. It says she will open her mouth as a thirsty traveler when he had found a fountain and drink of every water near her. And by every head she would sit down and open her quiver against every arrow, man. You know, you go to these clubs, you got certain women that's known at certain bars, certain clubs. You know, like it was a lounge I went to before, man, you know, way back in the day. And sometimes you see the same people there every week. You see the same hoes every fucking week. You know why? Because they're fucking those men up there. If you see people that's going, I mean, you got people that just hang out at the same spot, but a lot of them chicks go there and they sell pussy too. But if you see what they call a local, and she's cool with everybody in there, yeah, she may like going there, but 9 times out of 10, she's involved with somebody there. Okay, it's a lot of sinister shit in this kingdom, man. We only scratch the surface. But it says the grace of a wife delighted her husband, and her discretion will fatten his bones, man. Meaning make him more confident, make him more secure, you know. that girl strip shit. Well, you know, homegirl, look, baby, let's go to Vegas. You know, it's gonna be me, you. It's gonna be me, Keisha, Misha, Lucretia. It's gonna be Deborah. You know, it's gonna be like 6 of us. We going to Vegas for 3 days. But yet all these women allegedly have men. But see, they men are simps. They men allow that shit. What about your men? Oh man, he don't care what I do. You know what I'm saying? And then they try to drag your woman into it. You supposed to put a stop to that shit. You know, and if she say, nah, that's not a wise thing, I don't want to engage in what y'all engaging in, I'm cool, then you'll have more confidence in her. She'll fatten your bones, right? Because, hey, you know, she did the right thing. Like, okay, that's cool. And that will make you love her and trust her even more. Knowing that you ain't got to worry about somebody stabbing you in your back, man. You know, and they have different definitions of cheating. According to them, if y'all ain't together, you know what I'm saying? She could do what she want to do. No, that's not what the Bible says. If you are loose from a man in the scriptures, you ain't supposed to be touched by another man. You're not even supposed to talk to another man, let alone be touched by one. If y'all are separated, you're supposed to be in your own corner with your head down and trying to take care of your business on how you can make shit right with your husband. Not go and run around a bunch of friends that's going to tell you to do the opposite because they're bitter, fucking butthurt, bitter bitches, man. No. And that's the problem with our women, man. They fucking stupid. And it says, a silent and loving woman is a gift from the Lord, and there's nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed, man. And honestly, we don't really get that, man. Okay? We don't really get that. They got the law of jealousy on here. I don't really want to get into Numbers, the 5th chapter. Basically, break that chapter down. It's basically telling you if you were suspected of your wife committing adultery, it was a secret potion or a potion a priest conjure up with. She drinks it, her thighs and her belly rots out. Basically, that tells she plays the whore with other men, then she'll be stoned or whatever happens to her. But today and age, you don't even got to do that. You just look at their stomachs, look at their thyroid, the cellulite, and the stomach rotting from between. You know, that's all the sign of a whore, playing a whore, or she's played the whore. Really, all our women have that to some degree. Now, you know, they say, well, you know, I had a kid. Yeah, but I've seen people with kids that bounce back that didn't have that. Okay, the more cellulite you got, I mean, technically, it's the more specimens that's in your body, in your body. Those sperm cells from different men is eating away at your body. That's why you have those particular dimples and shit in your butt. You know, your cellulite, your gut is rotted out. That's basically you played a whore in your life or in your past life, and the Lord is basically putting that mark on your ass. You know what I'm saying? Even women that ain't had sex with other men, sometimes they get that thyroid because in their past life, they played the whore. So we got to get the fuck out of here, man. We got to be cleaned up, man. Yahweh Shem Yahushua has done a number on our people. But I'm going to end it there, giving all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Shem Yahushua. And with that, shalom and a bubble ball.